Access denied.
Welcome to Cyberpunk Edgerunners, where the future is so grimy that even the cockroaches have cyberware.
It's like asking a cockroach to not be a cockroach.
Imagine a world where your biggest life choices involve whether to get a new limb or to buy that overpriced brain implant that promises to make you 50% smarter. If you survive the procedure, that is.
Yeah, man, I think Rachel's beautiful because she's got good brains.
And let's be honest, who doesn't want a body that screams, I made some poor life choices? Stay tuned till the end to find out why exactly this show is gonna remain a contender for best anime in the last decade. Before we dive in, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel to stay connected to our exciting upcoming updates. Our story kicks off with David Martinez, an average teenager living in Night City, essentially a hellhole with a shiny exterior. His life is about as unexciting as a toaster until a tragic event turns him into a classic case of, let's get really fed up. You see, David's mum kicks the bucket, leaving him with her massive medical debt.
How charming!
There's nothing like a little financial ruin to spice up your adolescence.
But I'm just a kid.
Then we get to the Sandevistan, a military-grade implant that gives David speed that would make the Flash jealous. Instead of selling it for rent money like a sensible human being, he decides to install it, because who needs common sense when you can have a boost to your reflexes, eh? It's like putting a race car engine into a bicycle. Totally practical. After he kicks a few asses at school, he catches the eye of some big players in the criminal underworld, including Lucy, who is about as mysterious as a romantic interest in a badly written rom-com. She's edgy, dangerous, and of course, there is tension, because nothing says healthy relationship like falling for someone who thrives in a life of crime. Desperate to escape his mundane existence, David stumbles into the world of Edgerunners, which is basically a fancy term for mercs with the IQ of a goldfish.
Edgerunners. Cyberpunk の別名よ。なるんでしょ？あんた。
He teams up with a ragtag group of criminals led by the enigmatic Lucy, who is about as useful as a chocolate teapot, and has a mysterious past that no one cares to explore. But don't worry, she's hot, and that's all that matters in this universe.
She's dangerous.
David quickly learns that the streets of Night City are about as safe as a baby in a shark tank. He gets his hands on some sweet cyberware, which, spoiler alert, has about a 50-50 chance of making you a superhero or turning you into a pile of goo. As David dives deeper into the Edgerunner life, he begins to embrace the go big or go home mentality. Why settle for a normal life when you can live dangerously? Naturally, he makes a slew of reckless decisions that would make even the most hardened criminals cringe. The gang pulls off heists, fights against corporations, and engages in enough drama to fuel a reality TV show. But hey, what's life with a little chaos, right? They rob corpos, shoot their way out of trouble, and David somehow manages to make friends with some of the dumbest characters in the series. Let's take a pause now to talk about some of them. There's David, our bright-eyed protagonist. Look at him, trying so hard to be a tough guy while still holding on to his boyish charm. Brace yourself for the truth.
It's not working.
David's about as relatable as a space alien. No surprise here. He makes some of the most mind-numbingly stupid decisions that just scream, I'm a teenager who just discovered rebellion. He's the kind of kid who would jump off a bridge if his friends told him it was cool. And you can't help but roll your eyes at his relentless quest for validation. Look at me, I'm edgy! Yeah, buddy, we get it. You're in a gang. No suspense here.
Original.
I'm a hot girl, I'm a hot girl. I get anything I want, this is my world. I make big moves in my big heels. Since the day that I was born, I've been a big deal. I'm a hot girl, I'm a hot girl.
Lucy, our so-called mysterious girl, has all the depth of a puddle. Brace yourself for the truth. She's the type to lead you into a trap while looking cute, and you'd probably follow her into the depths of hell just for a chance to hold her hand. Sure, she has a tragic backstory, but honestly, you could miss it and still know that she's just another pretty face with some vague motivation to survive. And what does she do with that motivation? In case you had hoped that she might stick around for tough times, think again. Ditching David whenever things get rough? Of course. Reality check, that's classic Lucy for you.
全くあんたを見てられない。インプラントなんか外して。
それはできないよ。
なんで？
Then there's Maine, the towering brute of the group, whose brain is about as empty as a soda can.
Surprise, surprise.
He's got more cyberware than common sense and a penchant for yelling, "Let's go!" at the most inconvenient times. He's the kind of guy who thinks flexing in front of a mirror counts as character development. Brace yourself for the truth, it doesn't. He embodies the classic, "I lift weights, therefore I am" philosophy, and let's be real, he's more of a walking billboard for the "don't try this at home" warning. Next up is Dorio, Maine's muscle-bound girlfriend, whose role is primarily to look tough while being incredibly underdeveloped. Reality check, she's the classic strong female character trope, but let's be honest, she's just here to support Maine and not much else. In case you had hoped that Dorio might break the mold, surprise, surprise, if you blink you'll miss her contribution to the plot. Thanks for showing up, Dorio. Your existence was, inspiring? Nah.
わかった。
Kiwi, what's not to love about the most suspicious character in the gang? Brace yourself for the truth, she's like the person who shows up at the party and immediately gives you the creeps. You can't quite put your finger on it, but you know she's plotting something nefarious. Fun fact, she's got more secrets than the NSA and absolutely no charm to make up for it. Seriously, she's a walking red flag, and yet everyone treats her like she's the life of the party. Spoiler alert, she's not. As David dives deeper into the chaos of Night City, the stakes ramp up faster than his credit card debt. He's not just in it for the thrill, he's got a burning desire to find out what it means to be truly alive. Because who wouldn't want to risk it all in a city that treats its citizens like disposable trash? He participates in high-stakes missions that go horribly wrong, of course. I mean, you can't have a story without a few exploding cars and a body count that rivals a war zone, right? Our dear David learns that trust is a luxury in Night City, one that he can't afford. His teammates are more likely to stab him in the back than share a bag of chips. But for the real kicker, David's thirst for power leads him to a showdown with some of the biggest players in the city, including Arasaka, because why not take on the world's most dangerous corporation? It's not like he has a death wish or anything. In a world where everyone's trying to survive, David decides to go all in, turning his life into an elaborate game of poker with stakes so high you'd expect he was betting his soul. Just when you think things can't get any worse, Night City delivers its finest brand of disaster. Characters start dropping like flies, and the remaining gang members start questioning their life choices. Too bad the realization comes way too late. In a spectacular display of bad decisions, David manages to get his hands on some gnarly tech that turns him into a cybernetic powerhouse. Great, now he can do more damage and still make some boneheaded moves along the way. Meanwhile, his relationships with the gang go up in smoke faster than his brain cells, leaving him more alone than a cat at a dog show. But before we continue with David and his crazy gang, please hit that like button and show your support. And here comes the drama. Brace yourself for the truth. The big twist is that everyone's hiding their secrets like they're auditioning for a soap opera. Reality check, betrayals, backstabbing, and the occasional "let's all hug it out" moment fill the air, making you wonder if anyone in the show has ever had a genuinely good day. Oh, but quick heartbreak update, they haven't. As David's journey spirals out of control, it becomes clear that the Edgerunner life isn't all it's cracked up to be. In a city that thrives on despair, he faces off against enemies that are as relentless as they are ridiculous. By the end of it all, David learns the hard way that the neon lights of Night City can blind you just as easily as they can guide you. His transformation from naive teen to hardened edgerunner is as rapid as it is tragic. And just when you think he's got it all figured out, reality hits like a freight train, leaving him bruised, battered, and questioning every decision he's ever made. Now, the concept of cyberpsychosis is genuine. It serves as the show's way of reminding us that there's a limit to how much we can alter ourselves before losing our humanity. It's almost tragic how David, who starts off wanting to prove he's special, ends up showcasing the opposite by becoming more machine than man. This serves as a not-so-subtle jab at society's obsession with self-improvement and technology. In Night City, you can have it all, but it's gonna cost you more than just cash. So, in typical fashion, Cyberpunk Edgerunners wraps up with a bittersweet ending that feels like a punch in the gut. David's journey is a classic tale of ambition, betrayal, and all the bad life choices that come with trying to survive in a world where everyone's out for themselves. Now, let's break it down, shall we? Cyberpunk Edgerunners is a chaotic masterpiece that blends action, drama, and enough cynicism to drown in. But what really sets it apart is its commentary on the human condition, wrapped up in layers of sarcasm and dark humor. My favorite.
Freeze! Weapons down! Hands behind your head!
Cyberpunk Edgerunners isn't just a flashy show about violence and lights. It dives into the price of ambition and the seductive lure of power. It's a cautionary tale about how we're all one bad decision away from losing our humanity. David's journey resonates with anyone who's ever wanted to prove they were worth something, even if it comes with a side of self-destruction. In a world where everyone has an angle and survival is a daily grind, the need to become more, be it cybernetically, morally, or in any way possible, is all too relatable. So to me, the series tackles themes of survival and ambition in a world that's as unforgiving as it is vibrant. David's journey serves as a cautionary tale about the price of ambition. He starts off wanting to escape his mundane life, but ends up trapped in a cycle of violence and betrayal. The show clearly reflects how society often prioritizes profit over people, making it clear that in Night City, loyalty is just a word thrown around like confetti. Now, Studio Trigger really went all out with this one. Every frame is a visual gut punch, bursting with neon-soaked streets, explosive fight scenes, and a depth of emotion that you wouldn't expect in an anime based on a video game. It's almost poetic that a show this gorgeous focuses on such an ugly world. The characters are sharp enough to slice through steel, and the animation pulls you in, making you feel every high-speed chase and tragic downfall as if you were part of the chaos. The vibrant animation and eclectic music elevate the experience, but it's the story's gritty realism that sticks with you. The characters are deeply flawed, often making choices that lead to their demise, making you question whether anyone in this world truly deserves redemption. I found the characters are totally one-dimensional on purpose, a reflection of the world they inhabit. Each character serves as a representation of a different aspect of life in Night City: ambition, desperation, and the constant struggle for survival. The writers use their flaws to highlight the absurdity of their situation, offering both comic relief and moments of grim realization. Look, if you're in the mood for a lighthearted, relaxing watch, Cyberpunk Edgerunners is not for you. But if you crave something that combines raw emotional punches with insane visuals, you're in for one hell of a ride. The show takes you through a whirlwind of exhilarating moments, heart-wrenching losses, and a gripping narrative that's strangely addictive. Themes of love, loyalty, ambition, and the inevitability of loss are all woven together like a master chef crafting the perfect dish. Only the binders here are chaos, heartbreak, and adrenaline. In conclusion, Cyberpunk Edgerunners is a wild ride through a world filled with neon lights, deadly cyberware, and enough sarcasm to fill a barrel. It forces you to confront the darker side of ambition while providing an entertaining yet cautionary tale about the choices we all make. So, while you may laugh, cringe, and shout at the screen, remember that Night City isn't just a backdrop. It's a character in its own right. A relentless force that shapes the lives of everyone who dares to call it home. So, here's to David, Lucy, Maine, and the rest of the gang. May their tragic fates remind us all that sometimes life really does suck, and the only way to survive is to embrace the chaos with a sarcastic grin. So yeah, totally watch it for the flashy lights, the tragic love story, or just to see how quickly you'd lose your mind in Night City. Whatever your reason though, just remember, in Cyberpunk Edgerunners, it's survival of the edgiest. Enjoy the chaos. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more exciting anime content, and let us know in the comments which anime you'd like us to review next. Thanks for tuning in, we'll catch you next time.